there has to be self-imposed discipline, but it doesn't have to be in every domain of one's life, right? People need to get their relationship to light, sunlight, and darkness correct. This might sound silly, but there's a beautiful study that substantiates what I'm about to say. There's a study done on over 80,000 subjects out of the UK. The conclusion is essentially the following. Getting enough sunlight early in the day, and yes, even when it's cloudy out, there's sunlight. Just compare how bright it is during the daytime to nighttime, even on a cloudy day, folks. Getting some sunlight in your eyes and bright light, maybe also from artificial sources throughout the day, and then keeping it dark at night. It doesn't have to be pitch black, but on most nights between the hours of 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., unless you're doing shift work, and we could talk about that, thank you, shift workers. But keeping it dark at night and getting light in your eyes during the day has been shown additively to offset many of the negative effects of things like depression, OCD, ADHD, bipolar disorder. In other words, just keeping your room darker at night when you're trying to sleep has a positive effect on mental health. Getting light in your eyes, especially sunlight early in the day and throughout the day, tremendously positive effect on mental health. Okay, people will start negotiating. Can I do it through a window? Can I look at a video of a sunset? No, you go outside, you get some sunlight in your eyes. Without sunglasses, eyeglasses and contacts are fine. You're setting your physiology right. This circadian, this 24-hour schedule that we're on is dictated by light through the eyes at particular times of day and darkness other times of day, eyelids closed. The use of phones and screens, while fantastic, right? It's done amazing things for our progression as humans and communication, is disrupting our circadian schedules and health, in particular mental health. It's not just the content people are receiving on these devices, it's also the light itself. It's also the content, but the light itself. So get that right. It requires no cost and it sets things in the right direction. The second thing would be, while getting that morning sunlight, if you're not already exercising in the morning, you want to walk. Just walk in a circle if you have to. Walk towards the sunlight, okay? These aren't complicated things. They don't take a lot of time. They take no financial cost, okay? No money. Then it would be wise to get some exercise early in the day, right? Jocko's right on this one, okay? Maybe you don't have to do it at 4:30, but being an early riser and getting some activity early in the day and sunlight in your eyes does a bunch of things. You have a pulse of cortisol every 24 hours, a quote unquote stress hormone. It's not a bad hormone, it's a great hormone, but you need it released at its highest levels early in the day. How do you do that? Sunlight in your eyes increases that peak by about 50%. If you're not doing that, you start running into trouble. Exercising and getting sunlight in your eyes early in the day times that cortisol peak. We know from studies at Stanford School of Medicine by a guy named David Spiegel and the great Robert Sapolsky that if that cortisol peak is shifted later in the day, you start getting symptoms of depression, anxiety, failure to sleep, and the whole thing cascades. So when I say discipline, I could list off 20 things that one could and should do. But this mental health crisis has to be attacked at two different levels and two very disparate sides. I'm describing the first one. You got to get your physiology right. Get that cortisol peak. Early day sunlight will also promote dopamine, epinephrine, all of that. Get some activity early in the day. Get a rope or a jump rope and skip rope looking at the sun if you have to. Some people say burpees, then people start arguing about burpees, but some exercise and sunlight early in the day. Okay. And of course, then some hydration. Then at night, most nights, it's fine every once in a while to go out and have a good time, but most nights you want to try and get it dark. Wear an eye mask if you need to. Throw a t-shirt over your eyes if you're like me, if it's not dark enough in the room. You don't need anything fancy here. And work on getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Some people can get away with 5. Some people can't sleep that much. Some people need more, but get that right. And when people do that for 3-4 days, it's remarkable how much better they feel. It is astounding. You start making better choices about how often to be on your phone with social media. You actually start limiting that time.